Communications Committee of the Athens City Commission on Disabilities. We are glad for those that maybe you'll be joining us by Facebook or on the city page. With me at this time is Claire Geisigem, who is a committee member, Arian Smitley, who is a committee member, and Rose Deacus, who is also a committee member. So I have a few things on the agenda, and then you can add anything else you might want to add. And I'm pulling two from your memo, Arian, of some ideas you had from back in, I think it was May, and so we'll pull from those as well. Because all of our meetings, because we're a city organization, a city public entity, have to be hosted by Zoom if we have more than a quorum in our meeting, and we can't pull anybody else in if we don't have a quorum. So I'm suggesting that we meet the second Thursdays of each month at 5:30, except November and December. We usually don't meet in those months. Not many of the committees do because of the Athena Award event, and in December we usually don't meet. Does that sound okay with everyone? The second Thursday, except November and December?
Yep, that works for me.
Okay, good.
Okay.
All right. And we did really well in June with our letters. I thought Noah's, well, I should say, Noah sent his, I asked him a bunch of questions and he filled everything in. He kept trying to back out, y'all, but I told him, I bribed him. I said, I'll give you a lunch at Casa because I know he likes that. So then I twisted his arm, and so he answered my questions and sent me his resume. So between us, we did the column and for June rather. And Claire did a great letter to the editor. Were they published? Rose, did you see? Because I kept checking, but I didn't see anything.
Yeah, I haven't checked. Yeah, because I don't get the messenger anymore. So.
Oh, okay. I'll check with the editor then. Claire,
I read the paper every day. I haven't seen them yet.
My goodness. Okay, well, we'll see what happened. I'll check with Caitlin and see what's what.
I'll double check though. It's possible I overlooked it. Do we know? It looks like we sent them out 24th.
I think so. About
okay.
24th, right? Okay.
Yeah, I can double check and I'll let you know. And if not, we can always just give them a little reminder that they're still there.
Okay. So the meetings, the columns, the letter to the editors. I want to talk a bit about commission profiles, social media, the Athena Award event, and then Arian, you suggested to the executive team that we think about guidelines and advice to organizers of events to let them know what we need as people with disabilities when they're organizing events. So we'll talk about that a bit. So for July, I believe Sly is finishing up a letter to the editor, and then Barry is doing the column. I interviewed her the other day, and she sent me some information about her sister, Clarissa, who was instrumental in starting the Athens City Commission on Disabilities. And so we're going to tie that in again to Crip Camp and then the beginning of the ADA. So that will be for July, and again, we'll check and see what happened for June. I think we need, Claire, we have now 3 people who can get into the Facebook page. That's me, 4 really, me, Rose, Claire, and Diane.
4.
4. So I'm not really sure, Rose, where to put anything. So I think we need to do a kind of review of the page and see what's what. And I was thinking maybe since Claire has more knowledge of all these things than I know I do.
I mean, the only thing I have done is just, basically it says, if you have anything to post, you post it. And that's what I do.
Okay. So Claire, maybe you can take a look at the page and see what we need to do, what needs to stay there, what needs to go, and how we can maybe condense some things so it's really easy to read and easy to navigate.
Yeah. Do you want me to almost like write up like a mini proposal of like what a social media plan could look?
Just do it. Right?
Just do it.
Yeah, right. I mean, consider yourself.
Just do it. We don't need another step. You can just get it.
Yeah, right.
And do what you need.
It would be great to have more likes. We have about 370 likes now. Okay. And I think that means that when we post something, that they get the information. Is that what happens with likes?
Yep.
So it's always better to have more people. You know?
Yeah. So to post something to the page, and I think maybe this is where I got confused. Is there like an approval process
No.
for posting anything to the page? Okay. Yeah.
Well, the only difference is it will have when you post, or the four of us post, it will have Athens City Commission on Disabilities and your name underneath.
Okay.
To show that it is someone from the commission. If I would just go in and say, put in something, what's on your mind, and I didn't have access to it, it just come up as my name.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to do it, right?
Right.
Yeah. So, okay. Yeah. I can start doing that. No problem. Yeah.
Okay. And I may send something to you. You all saw J.W. Smith's little video that he did? Did you get
I haven't watched it yet, but I did see the email, so I'll make a point.
Me too.
Watch it.
Right?
Yes, really cute. I asked him if we had permission from him and the producer to post it to Facebook and the city page, and he said, of course. So I might send that to you just as a test to see if you can get it on. I can't.
I haven't seen it yet. So yeah, if you want to send that over, I can definitely post that to our Facebook page.
I'll do that. Thank you.
You're hearing a sigh of relief from me.
Me too. Yeah, me too. But we'll still be looking and posting things too, Rose. All of us will. So we'll help you with that as well. So I was able to post Crip Camp. I don't know how I did it. If I had to go back and do it again, I probably couldn't, but it's on there. And anything on the city page, we send to Scott Thompson and tell him where to put it. And he will post that as well. So all of us, if we can look at the city page, and see what needs to be manipulated, if it looks okay, if things make sense.
And we do have two pages. And so one is a group page that's, I think it shows everywhere. I mean, I'll send you you can find it. I mean, one's Athens City Commission on Disabilities, and the other one's another word, it's like there's the same things. If you need to find it, let me know, because what I do when I post something, what I'll do is share it to that page,
Okay. You mean the Facebook page, right?
Yeah, the page, you're right. So like post it on our main page and then our subsidiary page, which Barry asked for that a few years ago, so that the little subpage shows on a person's Facebook page as like a little item, that tells you to go there.
Okay. Claire, if you need more detail, you might talk to Scott, because he's the one that gave us access to Facebook too. So he kind of handles both of those for us. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Davey's working up a form for commission profiles so that they're all consistent, so that you saw the example that he did. So he's going to do a form so that whatever we put on it is consistent, and probably get that out in the next month or so, by the next commission meeting. So anybody can do a profile. So we'll post those to Facebook and to the site as well. And maybe, I was thinking, I don't know, I don't want to start something that we can't keep up. I was thinking as we add new commissioners, maybe we should do a release or something saying this person has joined the Athens City Commission on Disabilities. So what do y'all think?
Oh, I think that's a good idea.
I think so too. Yeah, that's great.
So Claire, you'll be the first one. I let it out the bag, didn't I? Didn't mean to, I'm sorry. But I can tell you, oh gosh, okay. I can't tell you, since I said it, I'm sorry. The commission did vote. So whatever the mayor says, if you don't make it, it's on Steve and the council.
I will say we are on recess for the month of July.
Yeah.
I did try to see if we could get it squeezed in our last meeting, but it was a special meeting, and apparently I'm learning as I go here. You can't amend the agenda to do that at the last minute for special meetings. So unfortunately, we didn't get that in before we went on recess, but it will be included in our first meeting in August.
Okay. So we sent Clara was probably the first to fill in the revised application form. So we sent that and the resume and 3 references on to the mayor. So he has that. And I think Patty did say it will be on the agenda for August. Yeah, so thank you for that.
And then I have a media list that I can send you for the little tiny radio stations and stuff. And that what I've always done is just send out a mass email to everybody.
I think they have the updated
for release, right?
I think they have it, Rose. I'm not sure.
Oh, they already have it? Okay. Oh, that's right. For you, I forgot you did that. You revised it. Oh, yeah. Thank God.
Yeah, I remember receiving that right after last meeting.
Okay, good. Okay.
5 years ago, this was all new. And so, that was what Barry and I did, was create things like that.
And I just built on what they did. So
right, exactly.
Yeah. We don't know anything about what's going on. Well, we won't know about the Athena Award event because we don't know if there will be one in November. We have the place scheduled. The Education Outreach Committee will be considering, if it is a go, whether it's at the Arts West or Community Center. The Arts West is really kind of nice and intimate. The Community Center is stark and bare. But parking, of course, was the main issue last year.
Right.
We're thinking that maybe if there's some place we could have that the overflow could park, and we have clear directions, then maybe we can, I don't know, Erin, you may know more about this, then maybe we could have a bus from the city to transport people to and from the Arts West if we need to.
Yeah, that's a good thought. The nearest place that comes to mind that has a lot of parking, but I don't know if they'd allow it, is the fairgrounds. I mean, that's closer than, say, the community center.
That's true.
But that's a good thought. Like, do a little shuttle.
Okay, yes, that's what I was thinking, a shuttle. Even if we couldn't get one from the city, we could probably work with the university, maybe, if they're going to do something. So we can probably work that out. I just don't want, I really like Arts West because of the intimacy. And we talked about next year having maybe just round tables and people could start to eat right at the beginning so that they can have more of a conversation and it won't be the big push at the end and all that.
Oh, right, exactly. The fact there's a meal means that people want to come, right?
Yeah. We had pretty good food last year, too.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's great. And Claire did a wonderful job with all that video stuff put together. The last thing I have is the guidelines, and we talked about it with the executive group the other day, and Diane said that she would love to kind of take that on because she had a lot of good ideas, but she says she's swamped for the next few months because she's getting ready to retire. Oh. And I don't know if you all know this too. She's the president. I know Erin probably does, the president of PassionWorks board. So she's been pretty busy. So she said, Erin, if you would work with her on that.
Yeah, happy to.
She'd be glad. Okay, I'll let her know. Maybe you all just can connect. And do you have examples of what other organizations, other groups do?
No, that could be my first step to try to look for something that already exists. And then we can shoot it out to this committee to give it a review and offer feedback.
Okay. Well, we're talking about, Claire and Rose, is some kind of information piece, whether it's put on a website or send out or whatever it might be, to organizations who might have gatherings and rallies so they'll know what people with disabilities need to participate. Is that right?
Yeah. So considering terrain, routes,
yes,
hiring an interpreter, and who do we have locally for that? If they want to print literature in Braille, how do you do that? those are the initial thoughts. And so I'll look up to see if there's something that exists already that we can build on or tweak for our needs.
Okay. Rose is going to do the column for August that you suggested, Claire, about people who don't have a disability, but all of a sudden here they are. They find themselves in that situation. What do they do? I was telling Rose the other day that people have come up to me and they've said, "Oh, I know how you feel in a wheelchair. I had to use a wheelchair for 6 weeks." I said, "Oh, honey, no, you don't."
Yeah.
No.
You haven't a clue.
Yeah. Until
Well,
you get to a hotel.
yeah, I started writing already. I mean, after we talked, I thought, well,
Yeah.
I'm trying to decide if I should lead with, I was in a wheelchair for a year, and people would come up on the street because, you know, I was a professor, and the last time they saw me, I was running my kids around. And everybody says, "What happened?" And so what I did is I got a T-shirt made that said, "Someone ran a stop sign, 5990.
Yeah.
I think I said on First Street.
Yeah.
I just pointed at it. I mean, I know that's really sarcastic, but I was trying to maintain a good attitude.
So, having been a part, everybody, of all the commission meetings, what else do we need to do as the communications committee, or what's on your minds?
Well, I had something that came up at work, and Davey and I exchanged a few emails about it, and I don't know where it fits, if it fits in here or somewhere else. But we were in communication with a woman who lives in Nelsonville and uses a wheelchair. There were concerns about her not having food, and how we got in touch with her was through Job and Family Services, Adult Protective Services Division. A call was made to them with a concern about this woman. APS learns that she's not of age to receive their services because APS is for, so I think 60 and over, and she was in her 50s. Mm-hmm. So a referral was put into us. It turned out she wasn't eligible for our services because she didn't have a developmental disability. It was a different type of disability, mm-hmm. and it was onset in adulthood. And we serve people who have disabilities from younger age on. Anyway, long story short, it occurred to me that we have our city commission. I wonder if there was any interest in expanding to outside the city of Athens. And then I started thinking, well, is there a resource for people with disabilities to just call and get help for basic needs or other resources, but specifically for people with disabilities? Like, I don't know if there's a need for something like that, like a advocate or just a point person.
Yeah, right. Well, what I was thinking is that, and I don't remember the name of it, I'll have to look it up, but the state of Ohio has quite a good network of helping kinds of people, but I can't think of what the name of the organization, the agency that helps. And so I think that they are totally separate from welfare and human services. And I am going to say I will put my best effort tomorrow into looking for it, okay? Because the state might, the good thing about that is that they may have a network already, but we just don't know about it.
True.
And
the point Dave made is that the Center for Independent Living concept would provide that service if we had that here.
Exactly.
We don't have that here yet. So how can we best connect people until we have that sort of thing?
Well, and what I'd say is call the CIL in the nearest city and ask them who to call in the state of Ohio. I mean, that might be the way to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will take that on tomorrow.
Okay. Cool. Cool, thanks.
Maybe you can check with Davy Rose to see who the contact, maybe you already know, might be for the one in Ohio, the Citadel in Ohio or in Lancaster.
Oh, right, exactly. For the, yeah, I was thinking Pawnee CIO and ask them.
Okay.
But, you know,
That's a
like,
good idea.
but I'll definitely put down
Okay.
Davy's name, right?
Do the food banks, are they able to help people like who are in need right now, or is it just, how do you tap into that?
Well, we're offering right now, because of the pandemic, we're offering free transportation to the, to your nearest food pantry. So I guess for her, it would be the Nelsonville Food Cupboard. And we can arrange that through Athens On Demand. But I don't know how much longer that's going to last. Everything is so touch and go right now. But I mean, she would probably still qualify for a reduced fare with Athens On Demand, and you know, we can get her set up as a rider, and yeah, make sure that she has that connection.
Well, that's a way, right? Well, Athens On Demand, because I've been a customer, it's like $2 a ride for any place in the county. And so she could go to the food pantry. I mean, just get, you know, all we have to do is, does someone know her personally that they could give her that information? Or, you know?
No, I mean, Amy did talk to her, and that's how we learned that she was eligible for our services. And in the end, the concern wasn't really there. She said she had plenty of food, but it just,
right.
for whatever reason, her neighbors thought that she was in need, but it just brought up the thought, like what resources do we have if she was indeed in need?
Well, we have resources, but I think one of the things communication-wise that people do not know about, you know, people who are outside of the welfare system don't know individually what's available out there. And I mean, it took me a few years to find out about Athens On Demand, and that makes it's a lifesaver.
Right.
I mean, well, just for social stuff, you know, I don't want to go to the community center. $2 one way, and they pick you up when you tell them.
Rose, let me tell you something. If whenever you're able to go to City Hall, you get a form, or maybe they can send it to you, and you get your physician to sign it. It'll be $1 each way. All right about that, Claire?
Yes, it's we call it the elderly and disabled form, and yeah, you fill that out, and then you're put in the system for a reduced fare. So
yeah, I told him I felt really guilty about that, and I'd be willing to pay $2. They said you don't have to.
Right.
But
I'm willing to pay. I'm really willing to pay $1. I mean, $2. I mean, I have no problem with that. But it's good to know that that's available.
Yes.
And once again, are those guys? I mean, I can't think of the name of the group. Are they publicizing that information?
Yeah, that's capped, and yeah, I mean, especially during the pandemic. I mean, that's something that we have really pushed out there, and yeah, we share information on our transportation programs all the time. So yeah,
before the pandemic, the drivers were telling us too.
Right.
Yeah. And so the word is out there.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe what we can do as a committee at some point is develop a resource list so that anyone who needs to know what's available, it doesn't have to be very long, but if you need a ride, here's Athens On Demand. And if you need food, here's the number to call. If you're not, if you can't qualify for welfare, whatever it might be. So maybe just a one-pager list that we put on our website, put on our city site. And
I'll volunteer to help you, Carolyn, with that.
Hey, Rose, I didn't volunteer.
But that would be good.
Yeah.
Because
I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I was just thinking that'd be handy for two reasons: for someone who's in need, and then, but also anyone who's moving to the community, and if they want to get a sense of, how accessible is this community.
Well, I can volunteer because I was going to mention that HAPCAP has a community resource navigator, and I believe that she actually worked for the Board of Developmental Disabilities, Amanda Saville. I think
she did. It was before my time. I don't know.
Oh, sure. yeah. But she, I mean, she has connections all over the county, and I could just kind of tap her brain, and I could come up with a list, and Rose, I can share that with you if
if I can in any way, I'm ready. You start this, and then everybody else can.
Sure, yeah.
You have the resources, like you already have lots of stuff, right? Any way that I can help you.
Sure.
I can offer prayers.
That would be great. That's always welcome.
That's prayers are very useful, right?
Yes.
Thank you, Erin. I mean, that's really something we need. I don't think we have it.
Oh, we don't.
Especially for resources too, like you said, outside of Athens. I think that's important to include.
Yeah, it's just, and what a benefit for people to have that. I mean, like you said, no new people come to town, and they don't know what's available.
Right. Mm-hmm. So what we've normally done as our Education Outreach Committee and other committees, anything that we plan on doing, unless you're working individually, it's due kind of like the next meeting, unless it's something that's urgent. So we usually don't put, you've got to have it next week or anything like that. Just by the meeting, just update us, or if there's something that comes up before the next commission meeting, just send me a note and I'll add it to our minutes. But I've been taking notes now. After each meeting, I usually do the minutes and send them to Davey and to Patty. Then they will send them out with the agendas when they go out for the commission meeting. So if you think of anything else, just let me know.
Do you think I should continue to try to find out from CIL, or should I call Davey and ask him?
Call Davey and see if he's got any thoughts, and then maybe call the CIL too. I would do both.
Okay, will do.
Okay, so what else do we need to do? Anything else on your minds? If not, I think we're done. August, I don't know if we have anybody for the letter yet, so we can think about that or ask at the next commission meeting. But we're pretty set for the next few months.
All right.
So chop, Rose, get busy, get busy.
I like efficiency.
Yeah.
I love how when Karen's speaking, the yellow screen is around her, and then for me it's around.
Yeah, I didn't think I would like Zoom, but I really do.
Oh, I do too.
I think so. And I know they're happy because, they were in this business before this pandemic was ever thought about, I think. So,
right.
We should have bought Zoom stock.
No. I was thinking the very same thing. I thought, I'm going to see if my Vanguard is in a Zoom, right?
Yeah. Anything else we need to be doing? If not, we're done. I'll just do up the minutes, send them out, but I'll send them to. Well, no, I'll just do them. I think they're okay. If anything's crazy, next time we can amend it. So, for the next meeting, it will be the second Thursday in July. And the good thing about in August, in July, is that right? Yes. Second Thursday in July. So that's coming up pretty soon, in a couple of weeks. And it's right after the Education Outreach Committee meets. So we'll be thinking about Athena Award and what we're going to do with that.
Sounds good.
Okay. Well, thank you. Have a good rest of the day.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Goodbye. Thank you. Thank you, Scott.